Oh, okay, David, I just wanted to quickly review those three patterns that we went through yesterday. Um, so depending on which chorus he's playing, it ends up being just a little bit different. So if we think about just your chordal sequence of F sus2 to a C, G, A minor 7, and then we would just repeat that F sus2, C, and then that funky sort of thing at the end. So what we're going to do is the initial pattern that we had yesterday was P, I, and A, followed by P, M, I, A. So I'll do it again. P, I, and A, P, M, I, A. So with respect to that sequence, it would sound like this. And that's used in the sort of fourth chorus. But we mentioned last time, or last night rather, that we had two other variations. The first one is just takes the second half of that. So when I did that, I just went P, I, and A, and then P, M, I, and A. I'm just going to take the second half, P, M, I, A, and play it twice. So I'm going to have this repeating over and over again. So if I went through the verse structure again, I would get this. Excuse me, I guess he uses it on the verse rather, so it would be A minor 7. And the same thing. And notice that we didn't change that end part, okay, so P, M, I. And the sort of next one was where we use P and A, I, M, and then P, A, I, M. So say on the same chordal sequence, P and A, I, M, P, A, I, M. Now, the bulk of what we did yesterday was actually on the intro, the very, very beginning of the piece. All right, and our sequence, our chordal sequence is just a little bit different there. So we have an F sus2, F sus2 going to a G, A minor going to a G, F, F sus2 going to a G, and then A minor. All right, now I'm going to build that just like we did yesterday, but our new pattern will be P and M going together, all right, and then I and A. So on our chord, it'll sound like this. P and M, I and A. P and M, I and A. Now if I went through my pattern, I get basically F 3 times, then our G, A minor, G. And it repeats. P and M, I, P and M, G. But you remember that when we employ P and M, we're going to hammer on with that second finger on the F sus2. So after our initial, so I think I said second finger, it's actually my third finger. For you, because you're wrapping your thumb around, it will be your second finger. So now we get this. Same right hand configuration, P and M, hammer on, then I and A. Do the same thing on A minor, 7. So we have our F sus2, do it again, A minor. All right, now we need to finish this off, and for that we're just going to do a P, M, I, A. So now for my F sus2 will be P and M, hammer on, I and A, P, M, I, A, and then repeat the first part again, P, M, hammer on, I, A. So if I put that all together, I get this. Same thing on the A minor 7 when I get there. All right. So now if I string this all together with leaving some gaps for the little motif, I get something like this. Gap, gap, gap. Gap. All right. Now those gaps consist of our motif, that little, and other than the very first one, that gets a low G in it as well. So with this, and in terms of my right hand fingering, I don't know if you can see this, I'm just alternating I, M, I, and then M again. I, M, I, M. If I include that with the first chord, all right, so we get motif, next one, gap, and then I just repeat. Now, at the very, very beginning, I play that motif as well, but without the low E string. So it's just this. I'm going to put that in, and there's only going to be one sort of gap that we'll fill in a second. So now the whole intro sounds a little bit like, and then our gap. Now that gap that I keep saying, he actually just plays a G chord, right? So now I'm going to put this whole thing together, all right, and hopefully this is the entire intro. It's 1 and 2 and. And then we're ending to the thing. So there was one other thing there that I sort of did. So that what I've been describing is the first half, this, and then our hammer on, and then the same thing, and then onto our A minor. Now there's a slight variation. Get this. And here I'm using my thumb and my ring finger. We'll go through this next time. That's the only part we didn't do last night. So again, I'll hopefully one more time. And we'll talk about that really. Hopefully this helps out and clarifies some of what we went over last night. Okay, enjoy. I'll talk to you next week.